The first thing she saw was her blood thick, dark, and soaking into the white of her dress. "Your legs are gone, ma'am. We're so sorry." Those words haunted Neria every second after the crash. They didn't just take her legs, they took her joy, her peace, her future. One moment, she was singing along to the radio on her way to buy groceries, her mind filled with plans for dinner and work. The next, metal tore through her car like paper. Glass exploded. A blinding light. Then darkness. When she woke up in the hospital, everything was quiet. Too quiet. And when her husband walked in with swollen eyes and shaking hands, she knew the silence was not peace, it was pain preparing itself. "Neria," he whispered, kneeling beside the bed. "You're alive. That's all that matters." But it wasn't all that mattered. She wanted her legs. She wanted to run with him on the beach like they used to. She wanted to dance with him on the balcony at midnight. She wanted to chase after their dreams, not sit in a wheelchair watching them fade. Neria and Brian had built everything together. From the small business they started in their bedsitter to the 3-bedroom apartment they now called home. They were the perfect team. They traveled across Africa. They shared dreams, money, jokes, and even the same spoon when eating ice cream. Their love had no cracks. Until tragedy hit. After the accident, everything changed. Brian stayed true to his word, he never left her side. He helped her bathe, fed her, even wiped her tears when she cried. But work was calling. Bills didn't care about broken legs or broken hearts. So Neria, determined not to be a burden, suggested her stepsister Pamela come stay with them, just to help with cooking and cleaning while she healed. Pamela was younger, cheerful, and always eager to help. At first, her presence brought life into the house again. She played loud music while cooking, made spicy pulao the way Brian liked, and helped Neria with her physical therapy. She smiled too much, but Neria didn't think much of it. Until things started to change. Pamela began dressing differently. Tighter clothes, short shorts, crop tops that showed off her flat tummy and glowing skin. She'd hum softly around the house, bend a little too low while mopping, and serve Brian with a soft, "Here you go, big bro-in-law." Neria noticed it all. She said nothing. She was already feeling like half a woman. What could she say? One night, she heard them laughing in the kitchen. Laughing too long. Too sweetly. The kind of laughter they used to share. Her heart twisted. Later, she asked Brian, "Is everything okay between us?" He pulled her close, kissed her forehead. "Of course, baby. You're just overthinking." But he no longer touched her the same. No longer looked at her like she was his world. Then came the worst day. Neria wheeled herself to the living room to call Pamela for help with bathing. But the house was too quiet. Her heart started beating fast. She looked around, called their names. Nothing. Then she saw it, Brian's car was gone. And Pamela's slippers were missing. They came back 2 hours later together, holding milkshakes, laughing, not even guilty. From that day, Pamela stopped pretending. She walked around freely like she owned the house, cooked only Brian's favorite meals. And when Neria cried quietly at night, she could hear Pamela's soft footsteps tiptoeing to Brian's room. She was losing everything. One morning, Neria rolled to the kitchen and found a half-packed bag on the table. Brian came out holding his car keys. "Where are you going?" she asked. He couldn't look at her. I just need space for a few days." Pamela walked in, smiling boldly, and dropped a key on the table. "We'll be staying at the estate near Kileleshwa. It's quieter." "We? Staying? What estate?" And just like that they left. Her husband. Her sister. Her legs. Everything. She was left alone in a house they built together, now filled with silence, shadows, and the haunting smell of sweet pulao. But even in her tears, Neria whispered one thing. "I may have lost my legs, but I will not lose myself." Neria sat by the window, her hands trembling as she tried to butter a slice of bread. But the knife slipped again, falling to the floor with a soft clink. She stared at it. For 2 hours she stared. Because it wasn't just a knife. It was her life. Simple things now felt impossible. Getting dressed. Picking up a glass of water. Reaching for a book. She used to be so full of life. Neria the planner. Neria the adventurer. Neria the businesswoman. The woman who led meetings in high heels, who cooked ugali while dancing, who backpacked across Rwanda with Brian, chasing sunsets and wild dreams. Now she couldn't even pick up a fallen knife. Tears slid down her cheeks, slow and stubborn. Her heart felt like it had been dragged on gravel. Everywhere she looked reminded her of them. The couch where Brian first kissed her. The mirror Pamela used to admire herself in. The dining table where they once prayed for their business to grow. And now the same table where Pamela and Brian once sat. Smiling behind her back. She remembered the last thing Pamela whispered before walking out with Brian. "You're no longer the woman he needs." That line nearly killed her. Was it true? Was she truly just half a woman now? That evening, she wheeled herself into the bathroom, locked the door, and stared at the mirror. She barely recognized herself. Her skin looked pale. Her eyes were swollen from crying. Her arms had grown thin. She leaned forward and whispered, "Where did you go?" The woman in the mirror didn't answer. But something stirred in her. A whisper in her soul. A very quiet flame. Not rage. Not pride. But something more dangerous. Determination. The next day, Neria called her therapist, Miriam, a woman she had been avoiding for weeks. "Miriam, I need help," she said softly. They began sessions again slowly. Miriam helped her face the grief, the betrayal, the loss of control. She reminded Neria that she was still human, still beautiful, still alive. "You didn't lose your power," Miriam said gently. "You just forgot where you placed it." She started writing again, something she hadn't done in years. She scribbled her thoughts in a blue diary, her pain, her anger, her dreams. At night she cried, but in the morning she wrote. One day, while looking through old photos, she found a video of her and Brian building their first online store. She paused at a moment where she was giving instructions, her voice strong, her hands flying confidently. "That's still me," she whispered. "I still have that fire." But healing was not a straight road. There were days she hated the mirror. Days she couldn't even pray. Days her hands shook so badly she could barely eat. And nights when loneliness knocked so hard she wished to disappear. And the worst part? Pamela kept posting photos of her and Brian on a boat on dinner dates in matching shirts. One caption said, "Some men know what a real woman looks like. Legs and all-nail Polish medium skin tone." That post broke Neria again. Her hands went numb. Her heart raced. She screamed into her pillow until she passed out from exhaustion. Her therapist found her the next day after she missed 2 appointments. But Neria didn't die. She got back up. She kept healing. She found an online support group of women who had also lost limbs in accidents. Strong, brave, beautiful women. Some were even married, raising kids, running businesses. They gave her hope. One of them, a woman named Amanda, told her something that stayed with her. "You could be broken and still be enough." And for the first time in months, Neria smiled. She began thinking clearly again. She remembered that she still owned part of their business legally. Her name was still on documents. Her sweat, her brains, her blood built that empire. And if Brian wanted to run away and build a new life with her sister, fine. But he would not erase her. Not from the company. Not from her story. Not from herself. That night, she pulled her laptop, opened her old emails, and began searching. If they thought she was weak, they were about to regret it. Neria sat in front of her laptop, staring at the login page of the business platform she and Brian had once managed together. Her fingers trembled as she typed in the password they created 5 years ago. Dream Team 254. It still worked. The screen blinked, and just like that, she was in. Rows of financial reports, inventory data, sales numbers, and passwords filled the dashboard. She hadn't logged in since the accident. She had been too broken, too defeated. But not today. Because today, Neria was remembering who she used to be. She clicked into the boardroom meeting notes. They hadn't removed her. Her email still had access. Her title still read co-founder and director. Fools. She downloaded everything: invoices, customer databases, even shipping details. If they thought she was going to vanish, they didn't know her. For the next 2 weeks, Neria worked like fire. She called lawyers, reread her contracts, reached out to silent investors. Most of them were shocked to hear from her. They had all assumed she'd been sidelined for good. "I didn't die," she said over a Zoom call, her voice strong. "And I'm still a 50% owner of this company." They listened. She moved her bed into the small office room and made it her war zone. She created spreadsheets by day and cried into her pillow by night. But she didn't stop. Not even when she heard rumors that Brian had registered a new company with Pamela under a similar name. Not even when their new couple page popped up with the tagline, "Fresh energy. Real woman. New era." New era? Not while I'm still breathing, Neria thought. One morning, she received a call from an unknown number. She picked up. Hello, she said cautiously. Neria. It's Mum. It was her stepmother, Pamela's mother. She hadn't called in years. I just wanted to say, I didn't raise her to do this. I'm so sorry, my child. Neria didn't know what to say. She bit her lip, holding back tears. She took your man, your house, your peace, but she can't take your power, the woman continued. That girl may have legs, but you have grace. Those words lit something deep inside her. Grace. Power. Fire. A week later, Neria showed up, unannounced, to the company's quarterly stakeholders meeting. She wore a stunning black dress, her hair braided in a neat bun, her makeup soft but elegant. 2 assistants helped her into the room. Everyone froze. Pamela's mouth dropped. Brian dropped his pen. She smiled calmly and rolled to the front. Don't get up, she said with a smirk. I'll take it from here. Gasps filled the room. She pulled out a stack of printed documents. I've spent the last month reviewing our original agreements, she began. And legally, no board decision can be made without my vote. Which means everything you've done in my absence is invalid. A man at the back clapped softly. Brian stood up. Neria, we can talk about this later. No, we'll talk now, she replied. You stole my husband. That's your shame. But trying to erase me from what we built? That's your mistake. Pamela tried to speak, but Neria held up a hand. I'm not here to fight for love, she said, ice cold. I'm here to fight for legacy. And trust me, I always win. Silence. Power. She had taken her pain and turned it into fuel. She rolled out of the boardroom with her head high, leaving whispers and awe behind her. That night, as the rain poured outside her window, Neria made a cup of tea and played a song she hadn't listened to in months, one she and Brian used to dance to. But this time, she danced alone. In her wheelchair. Hands in the air. Eyes closed. A small smile on her lips. Because she wasn't mourning anymore. She was rising. The news hit social media like wildfire. Wheelchair queen returns to claim her throne. Disabled co-founder crashes ex-husband's board meeting in style. Neria is back and she's not playing nice. People were whispering. Customers who once abandoned the brand started asking questions. Loyal fans returned to the old company account, tagging her name. Some even posted side-by-side photos of her and Pamela comparing grace to greed. It was clear. The world was watching. Back in her apartment, Neria was sipping ginger tea when her lawyer called. Brian and Pamela have been served. Their assets linked to the new business are being frozen pending investigation. She smiled. Thank you, Oscar. They'll try to fight it, he warned. Let them, she said. I'm not scared anymore. Pamela, on the other hand, was not okay. The business they started using Neria's stolen files was crumbling. Suppliers were pulling out. Investors were angry. And Brian was no longer the sweet, obedient man she seduced. He was stressed, moody, and barely home. I told you this would happen. Pamela screamed one night. Brian looked at her with tired eyes. You said she was finished. She was. Clearly not, he muttered, pouring himself a drink. Pamela slammed her hand on the table. She can't walk. And yet she's standing taller than both of us. Those words hit her like a slap. Meanwhile, Neria's page was blowing up. She didn't post much, just powerful captions and soft, elegant pictures. But her followers were growing. Women reached out, thanking her for standing strong. Brands started emailing her. One caption read, They took my legs, not my voice. I still have purpose. I still have power. And beneath it, one unexpected comment stood out. Can I take you for coffee? I want to see where strength lives. Jamal 254. She laughed when she saw it. Just some fan trying to shoot his shot. But then she clicked his profile and paused. Jamal. She knew him. Years ago, before Brian, they had been classmates at campus. He was quiet, brilliant, always helping her with accounting homework. She remembered his deep voice and gentle laugh. They hadn't spoken in years. She didn't reply immediately, but she smiled. One afternoon, there was a knock on her door. She rolled over and opened it. Pamela stood there. Her makeup was smudged. Her clothes were wrinkled. And for the first time, her voice trembled. Neria, please. Neria stared at her. Pamela looked down. He's gone. He said he's tired. The business, it's falling apart. I don't know what to do. And you came here to say sorry, Pamela whispered. I was stupid. I was jealous. You were always the strong one. Always the favorite. I thought if I had your man, your house, your life. I'd be somebody. And did it work? Neria asked calmly. Pamela shook her head, tears falling. No. I'm still empty. Neria didn't say anything. She just looked at the woman who had once fed her lies while stealing her husband behind her back. Finally, Neria said, You didn't break me. You built me. Pamela wiped her face. I don't expect you to forgive me. I'm sorry, Neria. I know, she said gently. Now go find your healing. Pamela turned and walked away slowly. Neria closed the door. No tears. No shaking. Just silence, the peaceful kind. Later that evening, her phone buzzed again. A message from Jamal. I'm outside. You don't have to say yes. I just brought flowers. And mango juice. Thought you might still like it. Her heart skipped. She rolled to the window. There he was. Tall. Handsome. Holding a small bouquet and a bottle of juice with a shy smile. And for the first time in a long time. Neria opened the door for a new beginning. Neria didn't expect to cry. But the moment Jamal gently handed her the mango juice, her favorite, and smiled like she was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen, something inside her cracked open. Not in pain. In peace. You remembered, she whispered, holding the bottle. How could I forget, he said, chuckling. You used to drink it after every exam. Said it was your good luck charm. They sat on the balcony as the sun set behind the city. He didn't ask about Brian. He didn't mention Pamela. He just talked about life, books, the weather, and how much he hated Nairobi traffic. And for the first time in months, Neria laughed from her belly. Not just with her mouth, but with her soul. That evening turned into more visits. More tea. More silence that wasn't awkward. He helped her fix a loose shelf. He repaired her broken radio. He even pushed her wheelchair while they toured the local park, gently adjusting her shawl when the wind blew. One day, as he was leaving, he knelt down and looked into her eyes. I didn't come here to pity you, he said softly. I came because I see you. All of you. You're not broken, Neria. You're a force. She blinked, heart trembling. You're not scared of my legs? I'm scared of losing you, if that counts. She covered her face and cried, but these were not the bitter tears of chapter 1. These were soft. These were healing. Meanwhile, Brian tried to reach out. He texted, called, even sent flowers. But Neria didn't respond. Because by then she had already moved, not houses, but in her spirit. The chapter with Brian had closed the day she found strength without him. One evening, Neria stood. Yes, stood. With months of therapy and stubborn determination, she managed to lift herself from the chair. Her legs weren't perfect. She still needed crutches. But she stood in front of her mirror and smiled. Hello again, she whispered to herself. Months passed. Her business grew again, not just financially, but with heart. She hired women with disabilities. She shared her story on podcasts, live panels, and schools. She became a symbol of strength, not because she walked again, but because she never stopped moving. One day, after an event, Jamal met her backstage with a small box in his hand. Her breath caught. He knelt slowly. I know you've loved hard, lost painfully, and risen like fire. But if you'll let me, I'd like to be the man who reminds you daily that even queens in wheelchairs deserve the world. She cried again, but this time with joy. Only if the ring matches my juice, she joked, smiling through tears. He laughed and opened the box. Inside was a gold ring and a mini bottle of mango juice. They didn't have a big wedding. Just a garden, close friends, mango trees, and soft laughter. Neria walked down the aisle slowly, not perfectly, but proudly. And when Jamal held her hands, she whispered, I'm not the woman I used to be, but I love who I've become. He smiled. Me too. And I'll love every version of you forever. And with that, Neria's story didn't end. It simply began. Again. This story teaches that true strength is not measured by how you stand, but by how you rise when life breaks you. People may betray you, take from you, or even walk away in your weakest moments, but no one can take your power, your purpose, or your worth unless you hand it to them. Healing is slow. Pain is loud. But peace, love, and self-respect will always come to those who choose to stand again, even if it's on broken legs, shaky faith, or soft hope. And lastly, never envy someone else's journey.